If you're going to start some type of reward system or a behavioral modification system, then it has to be consistent, because that's the only way it's going to work, is if it's consistent. Because if you start something and then, maybe it works for a week, you get busy. I mean, that's the thing, is like with the parenting, and from what I've seen online, when parents are overwhelmed and they're like, there's no way I'm going to implement all of this. So I always recommend just try one thing. Don't try it all, just try one, see what works. Just a quick disclaimer, I am a licensed MFT, but I am not your therapist. This video is for educational purposes only and is not clinical advice. I will also not be diagnosing anyone. Please refer to the full disclaimer on your screen for information regarding emergencies and ethical boundaries. Hi, my name is Christina Castorena, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I've been a therapist for 20 years. It might be interesting to share my perspective on certain trends that are happening within our world.
We had even and odd days for healthy and unhealthy breakfasts. What does that mean? It means we would get cereal on the first, third, fifth, seventh, and we'd have to have eggs and fruit on the second, fourth, sixth. As a kid, we got little poker chips that signified 10 minutes of screen time over the summer, and we would get 3 a day. I would get $12 a week as allowance if I did the above and beyond chores. We had mandatory chores, but then there was weed the whole garden. We were given 3 piggy banks. One was for giving, generosity, one was for saving, and then one was for play. So as a kid, we got into our mind that 50% of this we get now, but then 40 goes into savings and 10% goes into generosity.
I think she attributed a lot of the behavioral rewards and set up to her mom. So it sounds like her mom was a rock star in regards to a lot of parenting tips. Or very classic behavioral reward system. So this would definitely require a lot of structure in regards to the parent and consistency. So these types of systems they work really well. Children respond more so to a reward system. They respond to a consequence system as well, but there's a lot of research that does show that they respond a little bit better to a reward system. I think it's good if they have both, but it requires a lot, like I said, a lot of structure, a lot of consistency on the parent's part. So if you're listening to this and you're watching this TikTok and you're like, this is a little overwhelming, I don't know if I could do all of that, I would recommend take one. I could do the poker chips. We can do that. That's easy enough. We have cards. We can do a card game. Yeah, we can rotate the seats, and who sits where in the car. Just take one thing of this. If you find that it works, then stick to it.
Let's do that right now.
Let's do.
If you're going to start some type of reward system or a behavioral modification system, then it has to be consistent, because that's the only way it's going to work, is if it's consistent. Because if you start something and then, maybe it works for a week, you get busy. I mean, that's the thing, is with the parenting, and from what I've seen online, when parents are overwhelmed and they're like, there's no way I'm going to implement all of this. So I always recommend just try one thing. Don't try it all, just try one, see what works. If your kids respond well to it, then yes, follow through and say, okay, let's figure out how we want to implement this. It's always good too, if the kids are old enough and are communicating, then you can even ask them, what do you like about this? Or how do you want to contribute? And let them be a part of developing their reward system. I think, kids really want to be a part of it. They really want to feel like they have choices and that they have a voice within the home.
2 scoops, sir?
2, make it 3. I'm not driving.
It sounds like maybe the mom really followed through and kind of ran the system for them, and the dad was on board. So it sounds like they had a unified parental team, which is very important. What I would encourage is that if you're going to come up with a system, that if it's a 2-parent household, or if you have additional adults in the home, like maybe a grandmother lives in the home, or there's an auntie, or you have a babysitter or a nanny, whoever else is going to be caring for the children, they also have to be on board, because it's really hard to implement a system and then they have to follow through with the system. So you have to have a unified system within whoever's caring for these children. For this system to be successful, everybody has to be on board. And so I can see there being maybe some struggles if maybe the parents are divorced or separated and the child has to go from one household to the other household may not be on board with the system, and that can really be disruptive. If you're going through a divorce or separation, or you're in that type of arrangement, hopefully you two can agree upon some type of system that works for both households, because the transitions from one home to the other can be really stressful on kids, and they have to go from one type of parenting to another. And if one household has, maybe they have the token system, but 1 week, 2 weeks out of the month, they're not at your home, that's going to be disruptive for them. It would be really important for the adults in this case to hopefully be able to communicate beyond, at least for the sake of the children, to be able to find a system that works for both homes. One thing I also want to address about this TikTok is for the parents that maybe can or don't want to use money or financial rewards, what they can do is they can still have that type of system they can have the tokens. The kid gets to choose, what they're having for dinner that day, because there's going to be some type of dinner. Or maybe there is going to be a certain dessert. Like they can choose those things. They can even choose quality time activities with the parents. And that could be, we're going to go to the park that day. So they can actually maybe choose the physical activity or quality time activity that they have with their parents. If that's going to the park, if that's playing a certain game, or even playing toys. Like if they have certain toys that they want, maybe they want to play with their cars, or they want to play with their Legos. If there's something that requires adult assistance, or they want to print something out and color it, then they get to spend time with you choosing an image, printing it out, and then you guys color together. So there are other ways to reward the kids if you don't necessarily have the funds or don't want to use the funds. Really, a lot of times the kids just want to have quality time, especially when they're little like that. They want to have quality times with their parents or caregivers. Another thing you can do without spending money, I know kids can accumulate so many toys. So I'm sure there's bags of toys somewhere in your home that the kids haven't seen in probably a year. So what you could do is create like little treasure boxes for them, or mystery boxes. Kids love mysteries. I know that's a huge thing where, like the unboxing of mystery toys. You can create your own mystery toys for them. Put them in the box, and those can be little mystery boxes. If it's the end of the week and they've gained their 10 tokens, maybe they get to choose a mystery box and they get to unwrap it and open it. And like I said, it's already their toys. You've already purchased these toys. Kids sometimes have short attention spans and they forget about these toys. So it might be good if you go through your toys, the kids' toys, and they haven't played with something in a while, put it in a box and then bring it out in a month. This way it becomes new to them. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to talk about that a little bit more, if there's another subject matter you want me to explore.